Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and Master Certified Life Coach, Susie Rosenstein.
Hey there, welcome back to the podcast, Women in the Middle. I'm your host, Susie Rosenstein, your Master Certified Coach and Midlife Mentor, and I'm so glad to be here with you again for this week's episode, which is all about making a New Year's resolution with a twist. And this twist is about feelings. You know, I hesitated doing an episode about resolutions this year because it is so crazy and there's still so much going on with the pandemic. Like, it has just been so much. I don't even know what the words are. Deep sigh. So, like I said, so much feels out of control. Yet, surprisingly, there are still so many areas of life where we have control. And that got me thinking about introducing a bit of a twist to the whole New Year's resolution topic. So I decided to do it, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But first, I want to make sure that you know about the free gift that I created for you. Have you done a vision board before? Well, it turns out that the good old vision board is a great way to get unstuck and regret-proof your life, and they are especially fun to do at the beginning of the new year. It's your chance to take charge and do what you can to make sure that you don't have regrets, to be more intentional, to think more about what you want to do, to say, and to try. Your free gift is the Regret Proof Your Vision Board Guide. It is a free and powerful vision board brainstorming template. It's the perfect way for you to start thinking about what you want to create in your life on purpose. So go ahead and download your Regret Proof Your Vision Board worksheet and learn 7 easy steps to make a vision board that really works. So if you've been thinking about doing a vision board, or if you've just been thinking about your goals for the upcoming year, you're going to love this guide. Head over to www.susierosenstein.com/regret-proof-vision, and you can download it there. Now, let's dive into the topic of the week, New Year's resolutions, but this time let's consider making them a little different. The idea I want you to explore is to make a resolution that's really about feeling something rather than doing something. And I've got 4 simple steps for you to follow. So let's start with a definition. You're probably familiar with this kind of a definition for resolutions, a decision that you make on the first day of the year about the things that you intend to do or stop doing during that year. And maybe it's not the first day, maybe it's in January. I usually like to do it sometime in January, or maybe it's mid-year. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's a decision, and it's typically about something you intend to do or stop doing. So maybe you're going to start exercising in the morning, or you're going to stop spending so much time on Instagram, something like that. But what if you started thinking about it a little differently? And this is step 1. Think about your New Year's resolution in the context of improving your life to reduce resistance. What do you think? I think that doing this is an easier way to get your head around the whole resolution idea. So set the stage for your resolution a bit more broadly as a way to improve your life. Just start by thinking about it this way. For sure, the thing you decide to stop or start is likely going to improve your life. But when you think about it this way, it definitely feels different, or at least it does to me. What do you think? The thought or resolution might sound something like this. I've decided to improve my life next year. Or I'm committed to improving my life in 2022, or whatever year. I know it's not very specific yet, but I like the idea of elevating the goal first to get a good sense of it with less resistance. I don't feel any resistance when all I think about is improving my life. Do you? I'm all in on improving my life. No resistance there. So that's the first part. And I'm sure you've already started to think about some things that you could do or not do that would absolutely improve your life. But there's more. Here's step 2. Make a goal of your resolution be about a feeling. So let's keep going with tweaking the New Year's resolution concept a bit. Ask yourself this. What if one of the ways to improve your life was to feel a certain way more often? So the resolution you would make wouldn't be about doing something or not doing something with the normal actions you might associate with a resolution at this time of year, but instead, you decided you wanted to actually feel a feeling more often and more intentionally in the upcoming year. This is pretty interesting because when you go at the resolution idea from the actions you want to take, you don't always do the thought work necessary to produce the action or the behavior. For example, to take the action of doing a new morning routine, you have to feel a certain way, and that feeling is going to be produced by a new way of thinking. A lot of times, we aren't as complete as we could be about setting up a successful resolution. So this idea for a New Year's resolution is definitely a little different. What if you focused on the feeling you wanted to feel more often? And to do that, you have to also understand the thoughts necessary to create the emotional reality for you to feel. Because thoughts create feelings. Are you with me? If you decide you want to feel more patient as your New Year's resolution, for example, you know that it's not so easy to remember how to create patience willy-nilly. You have to understand how you need to think to create the feeling of patience. Like if you're in the moment and something that actually triggers you happens, it can be hard to remember to be patient. So if you want to be a way more patient person, you will probably need a variety of reliable thoughts to do that for you. And now this is step 3. Use the strategy of identifying your desired feeling and creating useful thoughts to create ahead of time. So the strategy I like to use is to think of having useful thoughts at the ready, like if they were written on index cards in a tool belt, like a screwdriver. That's my image. I could just pull it out when I needed it, and it would be ready for me to use. Now, funny thing, one time at a holiday gift exchange at a networking event, I opened a bag that actually had a beautiful, well-made pink leather tool belt in it. That's the beautiful image that I use in my mind now all the time when I think about having useful thoughts at the ready. And you can imagine that sometimes I do that on video if I'm trying to illustrate a point about practicing thoughts and thinking thoughts. So index cards with individual thoughts on them in the pink tool belt pockets. That's what's going on in my brain. But think about it. What feeling or feelings would you like to experience more of in your life? And then here's what to do next. Pick 3 feelings that you would love to experience more going forward. So here are some ideas. I want you to pick 3. Happy, calm, grateful, proud, confident, excited, delighted, cheerful, content, open, capable, curious. Just some examples. But do you have 3 picked out? I'll repeat the list. Happy, calm, grateful, proud, confident, excited, delighted, cheerful, content, open, capable, and curious. So pick 3. Then for your New Year's resolution, pick 1 of those 3 that would help you improve your life. So narrow it down now to 1. And that's it. Just imagine what it would be like to feel that feeling more often next year on purpose. Would that improve your life? If it would, let's take the next step. Ask yourself, what would you have to think to feel that feeling? Again, I want to challenge you to come up with 3 thoughts that would be a slam dunk. Like you could totally rely on them to create the feeling for you. I'm going to pick curious. That's the feeling I want to go with. I really do believe that feeling more curious would improve my life. What could I think that would help me feel more curious more often? Something like this. I came up with 3. I'm learning that there are always other ways to do things. I'm open to the idea that I can see this from another perspective. I love slowing down to allow more wonder. Now that one I smiled when I thought it because I think slowing down is such a great idea for so many of us. So I want to practice that one on purpose. But that's it really, 3 thoughts. And of course you can tweak your thoughts as you practice using them over the next few months. The idea is to land on something that is a slam dunk for you to feel the feeling that you're after. Like it would almost feel guaranteed. If you think it, you will feel it. You will feel the feeling you want. So that's the goal. And then finally, step 4, remember the thought on purpose. The last little but important part to this whole strategy is to figure out how to remind yourself to think the thought you want to remember. And I know I've talked about this before, but I really do think it's important to call out this step. If you can't reliably access the slam dunk thought, it won't be able to work for you. So ask yourself, how do you like to remember things? The tried and true strategies I tried are the sticky notes. I totally love sticky notes and phone reminders. Maybe you like to use your calendar or an app. Those are good ideas too, but it really comes down to embracing a strategy that you know will actually help you remember what you want to think on purpose. And that's it. 4 simple steps to make a New Year's resolution about feelings. 1, think about your New Year's resolution in the context of improving your life to reduce resistance. 2, make the goal of your resolution be about a feeling. 3, use the strategy of identifying your desired feeling and creating useful thoughts to create it ahead of time. And 4, remember the thought on purpose. So yes, it's a bit different, but the more I think about it, the more I love the idea. There's less resistance, and that is so important when it comes to this kind of commitment to a decision like a resolution, or any decision for that matter. The other thing is that it feels so good to feel the way you want to feel on purpose. So just use this simple strategy to boil it down to one feeling and embrace your intentional commitment to your emotional well-being this year and have fun with it. I can't wait to hear what you come up with. So definitely send me an email at info@susierosenstein.com and tell me the feeling that you selected and the thought you created to make it a slam dunk. Okay, that is it for this episode. As you know, my focus as a midlife coach is to help you waste less time spinning and feeling stuck. This is what regret-proofing your life is all about. Remember, being the queen of your brain domain is the best way to be. And if you want to get unstuck and more clear about your next chapter than ever before, I can totally help you. Check out the Women in the Middle Academy. It's my 6-month coaching program to help you get the clarity and excitement in your life again that you've been looking for. Don't waste another second feeling stuck. It is so boring and frustrating to do that. Book your momentum call and we'll take it from there. Head over to www.womeninthemiddleacademy.com. For show notes and links, go to www.susierosenstein.com and click on the podcast tab to find the information about this episode, including the link to your free gift, the Regret Proof Your Vision Board Brainstorming Worksheet. Let's do this, ladies. It's time for you to put yourself first, one thought at a time. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.